Good Sunday morning.
Morning.
From the Divine Fellowship.
Morning.
Pastor Phil, Pastor Janice.
Hello.
This is the only time, since we've been doing these videos that we ever call ourselves pastors. Yeah, we are, but it's like Phil and Jan. But
yeah.
Quick, run outside, look up in the sky. You might see the sun, which would be wonderful because we haven't seen it in days, and it's been foggy and overcast and below freezing all the time. So
here in the Pacific Northwest.
And actually maybe a little bit lucky today we not actually physically going to a building because it's like a sheet of ice out there in places. I mean, small bit of rain or something. I don't know what happened, but it's just a sheet of ice. So
morning, people.
Hi Valerie. Hi Vicky. Hey, this coming next couple of weeks, there's all kinds of astronomical fun stuff going on up in the sky.
Better than gastronomical fun.
Way better than gastronomical, yeah. There is a meteor shower. It's like all kinds of different colors of meteors. It's an unusual one. I think it was the Gimidid shower. You look up in the west sky after sunset, and I don't know what the days. I don't know what the days are. Oh, starting next Sunday is actually the height, I think, but before and after. But apparently right after sunset you can go out after maybe an hour or so.
Good, because if it's later than that, I'll be
I know,
in bed.
yeah. It's still going to be cold. Bundle up. What's hard about stuff like that is you got to go out and you got to really stay out there and stare up for quite some time before your eyes really get accustomed to the dark sky so you can actually see some of them. But anyway, and then of course Jupiter and Saturn, for the first time in, I think it was 800 years, that Jupiter and Saturn are going to be like appearing so close that they'll be just like maybe a sliver, or they'll almost appear like they're one, just because of the way they orbit. It takes 12 years for Jupiter to orbit the sun, and Saturn 29 years. So if you can think of all this stuff going around, and then all of a sudden, ooh, they're really close for just a little while. Go outside, and in the western sky again, you can see them. In fact, you can go out and see them now if you want, but well, maybe not now. It's not dark out. So, all right.
Unless they live in Kuala Lumpur.
Well, unless you live in Kuala Lumpur, and we do have viewers in Kuala Lumpur. Hi.
So, hello.
So, all right, enough fiddle faddle.
Never enough fiddle faddle.
Remember fiddle faddle?
I do.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever had fiddle faddle? Oh, it's
kind of
yummy.
like caramel corn.
It is kind of a caramel corny thing. Kind of like moose something.
Moose crunch. Moose tracks. Moose tracks.
Moose tracks? No. Moose munch. Moose munch.
Moose munch.
Moose munch. Yeah. Sweatshirts and t-shirts. Embarrassing my children. Just another service I offer. Yep. Where there is a will, there is a way. Has anybody seen Will?
Mm-hmm.
Do not read the next sentence, you little rebel. I thought I made a mistake once, of course, but I was wrong.
See, you need that one. I think
Well,
you've said that more than once.
Yeah, so. And if you can imagine, K-N-I-G-H-T spelt backwards, it's actually think. So if you can think of think spelt backwards, and it says differently. So think differently. So kind of like it.
We do.
Bureaucracy, turning energy into solid waste in 1789. Like it. I'm not crazy. My mother had me tested. The NSA has read this shirt. In parentheses and smaller letters. No, we haven't. NSA. Ta-da. Okay. According to a representative of the Rawlings Sporting Goods Company, official supplier of Major League Baseball, the average lifespan of a Major League Baseball is
3 innings?
6 pitches.
6 pitches?
6 pitches. Yep, 6.
Wow.
I know. All right, things that make you go.
Hardly a life well spent, just
Hardly.
Yeah.
Hardly.
I wonder if they pass them down to the little leagues when they're done.
Maybe somebody should call and ask.
Somebody should ask.
We judge ourselves by what we feel capable of doing, while others judge us of what we have already done. Henry Longfellow. You raise your voice when you should reinforce your argument.
Oh.
I like it.
Nice truth in that.
Yep. Skating on thin ice is better than skating on no ice at all.
I don't skate on ice. It's called water skiing.
Okay, whatever.
That was a good whatever.
The proper study of mankind is man. Make new friends, but keep the old. Those are silver, these are gold. I have always believed that good is only beauty put into practice. We do have a couple patron saints by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon.
Yay, George and John.
And John said, da 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 da. All you need is love. Actually, he just said, all you need is love. I did that. Da, 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 da. Okay. And George, what year did Jesus think it was?
Now.
I'm going to read this to you because I like it. To laugh is a risk appearing a fool. To weep is to appear sentimental. To reach out for another is to risk involvement. To expose feeling is to risk exposing one's true self. To place your ideas, your dreams before the crowd is to risk their loss. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To live is a risk of dying. To hope is to risk despair. To try is to risk failure. But all risks must be taken because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, is nothing. He may avoid suffering and sorrow, but he simply cannot feel, learn, change, grow, or live. Chained by his certitudes, he is a slave. He has forfeited his freedom. Only a person who risks is free.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
I like that.
I did too. That's why I read it.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that.
I started reading this and I go, well, I've done these before because they're kind of old sort of jokes. And then I looked at the date and it's like, I got this September 1997. Do some of the math. I think that was the first year we started the church.
Oh, probably was.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, got this back then and I haven't saved it all since. So, some of you may have heard before. If FedEx and UPS were to merge, would they be called Fed Up? Like I said, it's an old one. So, I believe 5 out of 4 people have trouble with fractions.
Yeah.
How come you never hear about gruntled employees?
You don't hear about gruntled.
I know.
You know, you get disgruntled, but nobody's ever gruntled. Have you ever been gruntled?
Well,
I've never been gruntled.
I've cleaned it up sometimes, but not really.
Ooh.
So.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah. If quitters never win and winners never quit, what fool came up with quit while you're ahead? Do Lipton employees take coffee breaks? Don't know. These are important things. Okay. One last. Yay. One Sunday morning, a mother came to wake her son and tell him that it was time to get ready for church. He replied, I'm not going. Well, why not, she asked. I'll give you 2 reasons, he said. 1, they don't like me, and I don't like them. His mother replied, I'll give you 2 reasons why you should go to church. 1, you're 54 years old, and 2, you're the pastor.
Get up and get moving.
Hop along.
Right.
Hey, you've got stuff.
I have stuff. We have stuff we want to tell you about. Next Saturday from 1 to 3 at the Divine Fellowship, 513 Barth, Richland, Washington. We're going to do, Phil and I are going to do blessings. So free, you don't have to worry about paying for anything or whatever.
At the same time, though.
If you'd like to leave a donation, we certainly could receive that. But we're going to have you drive by, so everything's COVID safe. They'll have you drive by and maybe crack your window a little bit as you drive by. And we'll put our hands on your car and we will give you a blessing. And at the same time, if you would like to purchase a woo-woo bag, we have a fundraiser that we are going to do.
Been talking about it for quite some time. A bunch of people showed up at the church yesterday and put them together.
It was fun. It was fun. So just a little bag, but it's got all kinds of good stuff in it. I'll show you what's in it. You'll get a Choose Happy armband. you'll get a...
We could tell you, not at all, and to be surprised, but we're going to tell you.
You could get a little activity book. That took some time to put this together. It's got some coloring pages in it, color crayons. It's got word searches and mazes and guided meditation that you could walk yourself through, get the information on. And then at the end there is another word search and another meditative process based on, I get the page, based on the Maori Healing Circle. So you get to cut the page out and stick stuff on, and
if you've never done a Maori Healing Circle, it's kind of...
It's really powerful.
It's weird. It actually kind of works.
Yeah, it's based on the Maori process that we've adapted. Yes, so that's in the bag. This is a rose quartz, and it was one of the rose quartz that were brought to the church, and Beth did a blessing, and we reactivated the crystal grid that's around the church building. So these are all linked to that. So this has the energy of sanctuary and safety in it, which is really kind of fun.
Hi, Tammy. Hi, Jeff.
And then Carol made some immune support, roll-on, essential oils.
Yeah.
So this is good for this time of year, don't you think?
Heck, that's worth more than the whole bag costs.
Probably.
Not that stuff anybody else done wasn't, but that's valuable.
Then a little piece of sage. You never can have enough sage to clear your space and get it energetically clear. So there's a bundle of sage. Allie made some soap.
Ooh.
Oh, this one smelled cozy. Isn't that pretty?
It's nice.
It's pretty, and it smells really good.
It's nice and mild smelling. I like that.
Oh, yeah. She makes great soaps.
Not stinky stuff.
Jackie made these little things. These are $2 bills. And inside the $2 bill is wrapped and sealed is a little frog for abundance. And you put this in your wallet, and it draws abundance to you. So this is very cool. Got more information on that on the inside of that. And then you get a little notebook, and you'll get my CD, Sacred Journey.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, that's a big deal. So
when did you do that?
That was done, good Lord.
Oh my God, that was
before the church.
Oh, before the church, yeah, probably 25 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what's amazing is that doggone thing still's good.
I listened to it this morning a little bit. It's still really good stuff. And you'll really enjoy it.
This is back when you actually had to have a regular studio, and I remember we sent the copies to New York to have them
right.
copied,
and
reproduced.
I'm including a little prayer that I wrote this morning for you, so that'll be in your bag as well. Anyway, we're going to have, as you come by the drive-by, if you want a bag, great. If you don't, that's fine too. Mm-hmm. But if you do, then we'll take either cash or a credit card. So
and what are we charging?
$30 bucks.
30 bucks?
Yeah. So,
it should be 130.
Oh, but anyway, it's a fundraiser. It really helped us out a lot, and it's got some really cool
Not
fun
us, but
stuff.
I mean the church.
Yeah. So for the church. So if you have a chance to drive by between 1 and 3 on Saturday next week. What's the date on Saturday? I don't remember.
It's the day before Sunday.
Oh, it'll also have a Divine Fellowship pin. I love these. These write really, really well. So all that stuff in that.
All right.
Am I forgetting anything?
Probably. But
probably.
We'll just get going here. Hi, everybody.
Are we going to get going?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get
going. You're going to get going.
Yeah.
Let me turn my heat down.
You want to turn this off over here? Or?
No, it's fine.
Okay. We got heaters on both sides.
Yes. So. We forgot to turn them on early enough, so I got to blinky. The dog finally calmed down.
Dog's all scrunched up on the couch, trying to keep warm.
Oh, is she?
Well, kind of, sort of. She's fine.
Would you mind refilling my El Cafe? It got cold. Thank you, dear. So, I've got stuff to tell you today. We've been talking the last couple of weeks about superpowers. And gratitude was a superpower. We looked at that on Thanksgiving. Big surprise. Excuse me. And then last week we talked about forgiveness as a superpower, but using a different technique so that we could reclaim our innocence, which is the essence of the forgiveness process. Thank you. Thank you. So, pardon me. What I want to talk to you today about is a third superpower. It was the first thing that I ever recognized as being a superpower, and that's kindness. Kindness is a superpower. You probably heard me say that a time or two or three or four or a dozen. But it really is a superpower. And when I was talking to Beth about superpowers, especially when I talked to her about when gratitude, I heard, let me start over. So Beth was at the church building. I was at the church building. She was getting people their copies of their Ancient Ones workbooks and the cards that went with those. And as she was getting in her car and I was getting in mine, I said, "Oh, Beth, I heard as I was on my way that morning that gratitude is one of the 6 superpowers." And she said, "Really?" And so we knew kindness was, so there was 2, we knew 2. So we went home and we kind of put our heads together and discussed it a little bit, and I wrote my list, she wrote her list, and we came up with 6 superpowers that are awesome in our world, that really can support us in our spiritual journey on our path of ascension. And we talked about gratitude, how that's a superpower, and that changes things tremendously, to be grateful for things. And how getting clear of old trauma is a huge superpower, because it's really hard to walk a path of ascension when we're bogged down with all the sorrow and pain and difficulties of life. Matter of fact, I used that superpower, the clearing the core crystal. I was really struggling with something, got my feelings hurt. You know, I think with COVID and being isolated a little bit, and we can't get out and do whatever we want to do, we tend to be a little more sensitive, a little more raw perhaps. And I got my feelings hurt, and I was trying to talk my way out of it, and I finally said, well, I got tools. So I finally talked about it and said, I need to give this to you, Jesus, because it hurts, and I don't know what to do with it. The second I pulled that crystal, the core crystal, out and gave it to Jesus, I got this huge wash of gratitude about that same situation that I hadn't thought of, that had escaped me. I was all caught up in what I thought was wrong about it, but I had not perceived this beautiful aspect of it. And it was so powerful and so healing. So I really hope, if you haven't had a chance to see that particular message, it's worth looking at, because it's a tool we can use all the time. And especially when things are so difficult right now, it's a very good usable tool. Well, a tool of kindness is just as powerful. It's not that one superpower is more powerful than another. They're all really powerful, and they all relate. And it's not like they're linear. You have to have this one, and then you get that one, and then they happen kind of simultaneously. But here's the thing with kindness. And in order to tell you the truth about kindness and the power of kindness, the superpower of kindness, I need to talk to you about cruelty. Because cruelty is easy. And cruelty is something that we do and has become acceptable in our culture right now. It's not, but it happens so often that we're starting to get a little jaded by it. Let me tell you about cruelty. Cruelty is when we speak with disdain to someone, either behind their back or in their face, whatever. But it's using that critical, hostile tone of voice and critical, hostile words that hurt deeply. That's cruel. But here's where that comes from. It comes from a place of pain. Pain begets pain. So if we are in a place where we're not suffering, we don't do that. We're not cruel to other people. We're not hurtful in that way. But when we feel less than, or we feel as if we're overburdened and overstressed, and sometimes with old trauma, and again, that That process from last week is really great for clearing the old trauma. But if we don't do that, then that trauma builds. We have the stress of being isolated, stay at home. A lot of places are really stay at home, don't go anywhere. And then we have financial stresses that go with that. And then we have the isolation stresses. And then there's just so much that gets burdened on that. Then there's all that political stuff that, it's really hard to stay immune from that. It just wears on us, doesn't it? And we get to the point where it just gets to be too much. And when it gets to be too much, we can't see our way through that. If we don't use another tool, cruelty is going to be the tool we use. And we're going to take it out on the people we love the most. We're going to say hurtful things. We're going to do hurtful things. And then we're going to be sorry for it. And then we're going to hate ourselves because we spoke harshly, or we were critical. We didn't mean to be, but we were. And then what happens is that pressure drops down because we downloaded it to somebody else. They're suffering. Now they're carrying the pain that we've been carrying. That's cruel. It's time to stop that. Just because political leaders do that doesn't mean it's right. Kindness is a superpower. And here's how kindness works. When we get to the point where we can't see our way through anymore, the pain is there, maybe we haven't done the work that we need to do, but we don't really have the tools yet, and we feel like we're just going to blow and download on somebody else. When we perceive that, when we notice that, and the key is noticing, when we can notice that, if we're kind to someone else, that dissipates. It's the most amazing superpower ever. And kindness can help somebody else who's stuck in that process. I was at the grocery store years ago, and there was this lady. She was young, had a little baby in the cart, and a youngster walking along beside her. And he was just like 4, but, kind of wired up a little bit. And she started laying into him and saying things like, who do you think you are? That's the most horrible thing I've ever seen. You're just terrible. I just can't stand you. It was awful. She was just berating him, telling him what a horrible person he was. Well, that's awful. That's cruel. But I could tell she was just worn out. She had 2 little kids. She was trying to do her grocery shopping, and he was being a distraction. But she obviously hadn't slept well. But she didn't mean to. We don't mean to be cruel. So what I did is I walked up to her, because you can't say, "Oh, stop berating her," okay? Because then that's not working. That's not helpful. I walked up to her and I tapped my watch. Nothing wrong with my watch. I tapped my watch. I said, "Excuse me, can you tell me what time it is?" And she stopped. Kind of you could see the gears shift, because you can't stay stuck in cruelty and answer a yes or no question. You can't stay stuck in a download of that negativity and answer a data question. A question about, is today Tuesday? What day is today? Just getting data, an exchange of information. And she stopped, and then she looked at her watch and she said, "Well, it's about 10:20. And I said, "Oh, thank you so much. I just didn't want to be late. And you have a really nice day. I really appreciate your help." And she looked a little stunned. And she said, "Oh, well, you're welcome." And then she looked at her son and she said, "Well, come on, little Johnny. Let's go see if we can find a cereal that you like." Totally shifted that energy. Kindness is a superpower. Yes, I asked her a data question, but I did it with kindness. I didn't criticize her for being hostile with her son or berating him. I wasn't negative at all. I was neutral, and then I thanked her with deep kindness, and I sent all the kindness I could send to her in that moment because she needed it. She needed it. And we can do the same thing for ourselves. If we're stuck in this place of I'm about ready to download and I don't want to, we can shift that cruelty, block that right up by doing a kind thing for someone else. Because kindness is a superpower. Kindness shifts and changes everything instantly. Instantly. Doesn't take a lot of time. You don't have to sit and meditate. You don't have to do a 30-day trial or a 30-day challenge. You don't have to do walk through this thing and do that, jump through that hoop. No, it's instantaneous. Kindness. The good book tells us, be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you. That's from Ephesians 4:32. That's from my little list of ABC verses. Be kind to one another. Be kind. It's a superpower. And if it were easy, we wouldn't be asked to do it. Well, let me put it this way. It's simple, but when you're in the throes of distress, it's a challenge. But when you're in the throes of distress, when I'm suffering and struggling, that's when we need it the most. And that's when it's imperative to reach beyond the easy download of cruelty and step into kindness, the ascension path, utilizing kindness. And everything shifts magically, instantaneously. Isn't that beautiful? And that kindness can be as simple as sending a text to someone, been thinking of you, hope you're having a great day. And if they send back a ton of miserable, oh, this is terrible thing happened, and that terrible thing happened, and maybe they're downloading, you don't have to take it on, and you don't have to respond to that. You can respond to that in a way that's, I hope you find one beautiful thing today. That's a beautiful kindness. You're granting them a kindness, and by putting that in their awareness, they're going to look for it. They're going to look for it. And if we seek it, we find it, do we not? That's how that works. It's a kindness. So kindness doesn't have to be buying someone lunch but that's a kindness. It's a beautiful thing. You know how to be kind. It's a superpower to change the world, to change our world, to change the world we live in. It's a superpower, being kind. So I want to walk you through a guided meditation here. It's a kindness. It's not for you at all. What we're going to do is we're going to bless and help cross over the ones that may have been struggling due to passing during COVID. Let me say that differently. Okay, so every time I close my eyes, I see faces. And, you know, being psychic, sometimes we all do that. But this is pretty constant, and anytime we've had a big tragedy, this is the same situation that occurs. And some people who have passed away during COVID have been sedated, and then they put them on the ventilator, and they don't wake up. And so they don't really cross over easily that way sometimes, because there's unfinished business, on things unsaid, things unsettled. You know, family members didn't get to be there. So it's been really difficult for those that have passed. And there's been a lot of them. And then there's those that are suffering. We want to send them healing energy. And then there are those that are tending to those that are suffering. So we want to do a kindness for all of those. And a kindness primarily to help the ones that have passed due to COVID, and help them take that journey to the other side. So hopefully you'd like to walk along with me on that journey. Here's what this is going to look like. I'll give you a heads up, and then we'll do the process. How does that sound? We're going to create in our mind's eye a ramp made of light from here to the other side. And we're going to just guide people, we're going to call in angels and guides, we're going to bring them in, and then any soul that would like to have assistance or could use assistance will be able to see and experience this. And we'll show them the ramp, show them the lighted pathway, and let the angels and guides help them in their journey. How does that sound? Sound like a winner? And we've done this before at the Divine Fellowship, so you may, if you just have been watching videos, you may not have experienced that before, but it can be really profound. So just trust the process, trust what you see, trust what you experience. If you don't experience a lot of stuff, then this may be a little new for you, but that's okay. Just get what you get. And notice that we're creating a sacred space for ourselves first. That's the first thing. Because we are here, grounded in this place, in this plane. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to put your feet, either your feet flat on the floor. If you got your feet up in your recliner, notice your butt. Notice your backside that's sitting in the chair. It's grounded. It's connected to the chair. The chair has legs. Those are connected to the floor. The floor is connected to the earth. This gets you grounded into this physical plane. Okay? And then, as we're doing that, and you all got that sense of being here, present, in the now. Now we're going to tap into Divine Source, whatever that is for you, whatever term you use for that. I like to use the word living light of love because that kind of encompasses everything. Some people have had a real tough time with religion, and so the word God kind of turns them off. Pardon me. So just having this living light of love, it's just all love, all light, all the time. That makes sense? So we're going to connect into that, and we do that by reaching up through the crown chakra to the ethereal realms. I mean, the ethereal realms are just really close, but it's in our perception that we reach for that, reach up for that. So just allow yourself to reach up for that. And I'd like you to tap into the golden portal. Now there's plenty of portals over the top of your head, and they all have a resonance, and they all do different things for the body and different things for our journey. But this golden portal is a portal that allows you to know your worth to the spiritual realm. It allows you to feel connected divinely and connected physically. Because gold is a beautiful energy construct and is very supportive. So when you tap into that, then this golden rays of light is going to pour over you. So it's like you're standing in a beam of golden light. Can you perceive that? Can you have a sense of that? Some people are really good at seeing. Some people are really good at feeling. Some people are really good at hearing. Some people are really good at tasting. You know, whatever your specialty is, allow yourself to sense this in whatever way is right for you, whatever way reaches you the best. And just know that in this beam of light, nothing can harm you. You are standing in the living light of love. You're sitting in the living light of love, surrounded by this loving light, and you're protected. You're anchored in this physical plane, and you're protected in this physical plane. And now, with that, use your imagination and allow yourself to see a beautiful night sky, a beautiful summer evening. See the stars. It's beautiful. The weather's perfect. Feels lovely. And because it's your imagination, you can create any time of the year that you'd like. But in the summertime feels very relaxed to me. And that might feel relaxed to you. And as you're noticing the stars, allow yourself to see an opening between here and there, between here and the other side. It might look like just an opening, an aperture, like a camera. I have a camera. Perhaps it's a doorway. Whatever feels right to you. Just notice that. And notice that light is beaming from that, the same golden light. You know, you hear stories of people when they cross over, or they have a near-death experience, they see the light and they're drawn to the light. Those that are needing this process need to see the light. But sometimes they're so distraught by this physical experience that they get distracted and they don't see it. So now open your awareness to behold the ones that have lost their lives to COVID, or maybe some other reason. But for here and now, in this moment in time, there may be those that are ready to cross over and need a little boost. So you'll notice them and have a sense of them. Now notice the rays of light emanating from the doorway, or the aperture, the portal, and now creating a ramp of light that connects the other side with this realm here. And notice people as they are kind of milling around a little bit, is how I perceive them, and show them the light. Tell them to look, there's the light. And they'll know what to do. At the same time now, call angels down from the other side. Spirit guides as well, if you'd like. And they'll come down and they will surround this ramp and guide people, help people along the way. I see small children, I see older folks, I see younger people, all walks of life, from every country. And just show them, point it out to them, get their attention, say, look, there's the light. And you'll see them begin to just float on up. It's beautiful. It's a kindness. It's a kindness to assist them in that journey. If you find one, help another one. Just notice. Maybe for you, you're not seeing a particular face or a particular form. Maybe it just feels like a ball of light. Or maybe it just feels like kind of a formless shape. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It's just our perceptions of things can be very, very different. So now allow yourself to just reach another one. Acknowledge them. It's okay. It's okay to go. Your family will grieve, but we'll move on. You can help them more from the other side than you can here. So do what's right for you. Take care of you and cross on over. Guide them on that journey. Point them in that direction. It's a kindness. This is one of the superpower's benefits, is it is such a blessing. You'll never be able to have a thank you from that person. It's just a kindness you give from your heart, from your soul, to another living soul. It may not be living in this realm, but it still has life force energy. And that life force energy is ready to go home, ready to go to where it can receive healing and blessing. So let's just do one more, if you have not already done another one. Some of you have done this before, and I know you're just herding them on up there, and you got lots of people going, and bless you for doing that. But let's see if there's one more that you can find. Point them in tell them that it's okay. I see you. I understand you're here. It's time to go to the light, and you can. There's the light. And it's not up to us to judge them right, wrong, good, or bad. That's their journey. We don't have to do that. It's just a kindness to point them in the right direction. So we're going to keep this gateway open for them, but we're going to exit out of that. So I'd like you to just notice that that's still there, that's still active, and I'd like you to step yourself back into awareness of your physical body, back into awareness, either your feet on the ground or your butt in the chair. Just notice that. You're still in this beam of light, and you can have a sense that all that is, the living light of love, blesses you for this. Your kindness made a difference. And you can allow that beam of light now to dissipate, or you can allow that connection to still remain. There's no wrong way to do that. Just notice that you're physically back into this time and space. And those others that are on the other side, that are maybe on their working their way to the light, they're there, you're here. They don't cross over into your world because you are disconnecting from that completely. So one more thing to do to disconnect from that completely is take a deep breath in and then sweep it away. You're done with that. And now it's time to live your life and do what you came here to do. And what you come here to do, you came here to be a child of light. Of the verse I want to read to you. Oh darn, I didn't mark it. See if I can find it really fast. La 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 la. Oh crud. Oh well. There it is. This is from James, the 1st chapter, verse 17. Now here's the thing. This is what we just did. We brought people in contact with this Father of Lights. In verse 17, every good thing bestowed, every good thing, and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of Lights, with whom there is no variation nor shifting shadow. Just light, just love all the time. And that's what we help those people do, is to step into that light, fully and completely. What a kindness. What a blessing that is. And we can have a sense of that by tapping into kindness and knowing that we are children of this light. There's another verse I want to read to you, but I don't have it marked. And I don't think I can find it fast. So I'll just have to share that with you down the road. We are children of light. You know, I bet I do have it marked. I bet I do. Haha. Let's just see. Nope, not that one. Ephesians 5:8. Let's see if I can find Ephesians. Quickly, easily, effortlessly. Ephesians 5:8. But you were formerly of darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. That's who we really are. When we get caught up in the cruelty of hurtful words and disdainful words and harshness, that's the darkness. That's not who we really are. But when we remember the truth of who we are children of light. And this is the benefit. For the fruit of the light consists in all goodness and righteousness and truth. If we know the truth of who we are, children of light, and there's goodness within us, and then we can tap into that kindness, and we can walk our ascension path with the truth of who we really are. Isn't that a blessing? So you may have questions or comments about that experience. If you do, you can type them in, and Phil is going to see them here just in a minute. But he's going to come join me here, and we're going to do communion. and then I'll respond to those. So you may have had a different experience that you would like to have some clarity about. If not, that's fine. But if you would like to communicate some more about that, just let us know. So, Mr. Phil, if you join me. Usually when I say this at churches, join me up front. If you want to join me up front, Phil. He's on his way. You'll need to bring me the phone, hon. I took the phone to you in that room, but I forgot to bring one for myself. Okay. It would be a kindness. Thank you. So I hope you enjoyed that. Different, a little different, is it not? Usually we do things that are focused on our own, what we need in this moment, what we need to help bless our lives. So that was a little different.
Don't tell anybody I was kind.
I won't, dear. It's our secret.
Okay.
There. Communion. This acknowledges Jesus walking the ascension path, and he walked it innocently, perfectly, without doing any harm. He was a blessing. He was kind. He was powerful. And he didn't take any cruelty cred from anybody. Cruelty cred. But he allowed himself to be sacrificed so that you and I have a chance to walk the ascension path and be free. Like Phil was talking about being free by taking that chance, taking those risks. So join us in prayer, please. Loving Spirit of Light, as we take this into our physical form, help us to take in the awareness of our ascension path. Help us to notice our lives. Help us to shift out of cruelty into the truth of kindness. Grant us that superpower. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. Gluten-free. It's a little dry. Join me in prayer again, please. Are you laughing at me?
No.
I'm laughing at me. Prayer. Back to the solemn. Yes. Loving Spirit of Light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life, all of it. And help us to drink it in with a new perception, a new awareness of the power of kindness. Help us to be kind. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
And so it is. I think Beth has already tagged the donation thing.
She did.
Okay.
Remember, Amazon Smile.
Yeah.
Order all your stuff through Amazon Smile if you can. Choose the Divine Fellowship as your charity, and the church gets a little check every once in a while.
Yeah, it's nice thing.
Handy.
Okay. You want to check and see if there's any questions or comments about our meditation?
Okay.
He's out of here. Back to that.
Oh, dog's still there. Hey, dog.
Do you think we like our dog a little bit? Could be. So if you don't have any questions or comments, that's fine. But if you do have an experience that you would like to share, or you would like to have insights about, just let me know. Okay? So I want to make sure you're clear, you're back, everything's all good, and you had a beautiful experience of that, because what a beautiful thing that was for us to do. Thank you for participating in that. So let me text Mr. Phil. Melodious.
Yes.
So have we got anything there? Nope. No questions? Okay.
Mary said something about it's similar to Black Friday without all the pushing and shoving.
Oh, yeah, there were a lot of people ready to go. There were a lot of people ready to go. I hope you have some concept of how beautiful this was and what a kindness it was. They were stuck and they were ready to see the light. They were ready to go. So thank you again for that. What a beautiful thing. So I guess there's no questions or comments. Obviously, if you do have something that comes up text me, let me know. You can either text me on the Facebook here, or you can text me on private message me, whatever. I'm happy to be here to assist you in that. So hopefully you're having a lovely, wonderful day. I guess that's it, Mr. Phil. You want to come on back and we'll wrap it up?
Okay.
So remember, next Saturday, between 1 and 3, we're going to do a blessing for you. And if you would like to, you don't have to, but if you would like to purchase we're calling them a woo-woo bag, a woo-woo inspiration bag that will bless your journey, you're welcome to do that for $30. So anyway, haha. So
our new friend in Portland, Terry.
Oh.
She's Robin, sorry, rather.
Oh, okay. Glad you're here.
I'm just saying hi.
Hello. Rub hands together really, really fast. You're still connected to that golden portal and that golden energy. Let that golden energy touch your heart space. Down your arm to your left palm. From your left palm to your right palm. Back to your heart. This connects the circuit. And then the energy between your hands begins to grow and build. Now we've already done a kindness, and we've already blessed all those souls that were requiring help. We bless them. But you can still do more of a kindness, more of a blessing by thinking of someone in your circle of influence that may be still here, maybe the ones that are suffering from COVID still, or having difficulty with that. One person that Phil used to work with, she and her husband both have it. We had a next door neighbor whose dad died of it. So, you know,
And the other neighbor's 21-year-old and 20-year-old child that don't live at home, both had it.
Yeah, so it's out there.
It's out there.
So if we want to send energy to them, that'll help them in their journey to recover. Maybe there's someone in your circle of influence that's just depressed or sad or discouraged during this difficult time. You can be mindful of them. They'll share in this golden energy with us. How beautiful is that? And we can also hold all of the caregivers and the doctors and the nurses and people who are in the labs and people who clean up, all of them, all of the people that are supporting that wellness. Just be mindful of them and hold them in your awareness, and they'll receive a blessing. They'll receive this energy. Maybe they'll help them through a little bit more. Just for a moment. Now, deep breath in and exhale and release them, reconnecting to that divine source. Heart space, left hand, right hand, back to heart space, and let that energy again build. Now you will be able to have a sense of this golden orb of light growing in front of you. This will help you feel the kindness. This will help you tap into that kindness. This will help you be kind and tenderhearted. So bring that into your heart space. Share it with those in your world. May life be a prayer. God bless. We will see you Wednesday Wisdoms. Have a good week. And next Saturday.